So Bill Cosby loses his lawsuit and the jury awards Judy Huth $500,000 in damages. On Tuesday, the jury reached their verdict, finding that Bill Cosby sexually assaulted Judy Huth. Now, one thing to mention off the top is Cosby was not found guilty and is not going to jail. Guilt and jail are topics for criminal cases, and this was a civil case, so none of that is on the table. But nonetheless, Huth and her team told reporters it's a victory. She said she loves it and she is as happy as can be. Now, Judy Huth testified that in 1975, when she was just 16 years old, Cosby sexually assaulted her. Huth is now 64 years old, and the fact that these acts took place almost 50 years ago naturally left a lot of folks scratching their heads in terms of how we are in court this long afterwards. But her claims fell within the statute of limitations, and so Huth claimed that her and her friend Donna Samuelson met Cosby at a park where he was filming a movie. He invited them to watch him play tennis at a Los Angeles club the following Saturday. Huth recalled being excited because they were kids and he was a celebrity. So they met him at the club and they watched him play tennis for a bit. They then went to hang out at the house he was staying at. They started playing pool and Cosby set some rules. If she lost, she had to drink a beer, and if he lost, he had to drink a beer. Now, Huth testified that she had between 1 and 3 beers. Next thing they know, they end up at the Playboy Mansion, and there was a picture shown to the jury of Huth and Cosby at the Playboy Mansion. Huth testified that Cosby eventually got her alone in a bedroom and pulled down his pants. He grabbed her hand and used it to masturbate himself. And this is ultimately what constituted the sexual assault. Now, it being a civil trial, Cosby was not required to be present and he did not show up to the trial. The defense admitted that Cosby took the girls to the Playboy Mansion. However, they denied that any sexual assault actually occurred. They basically wrote the lawsuit off as a money scheme to get paid off the photos that were taken at the mansion. And one of the issues that came up was the Donkey Kong defense. Now, this was an attack on the credibility of Huth's friend, Miss Samuelson. Apparently, there was a game room at the Playboy Mansion, and there's a photo from 2016 where there's actually a Donkey Kong game, but this Donkey Kong game was not there in 1975. So Cosby's attorney, Jennifer Bonjean, was cross-examining Samuelson, asking, hey, you testified multiple times that you were playing Donkey Kong. And Samuelson had apparently told police in an interview in 2014 and at a 2016 deposition where she was testifying under oath that she was playing Donkey Kong on the date of the incident. So the defense sought to use this as proof that Samuelson and Huth were basically making up this story, kind of catching her in a lie. If the game wasn't there back in 75 and you're saying that it was there and you were playing it, then, you know, that's an attack on the credibility. But here is the problem. You can try and attack a witness's credibility on cross-examination, bringing up prior inconsistent statements and the idea just generally that they're lying to get money. But really, in this case, the only way that Cosby could have really combated Huth's claims is to take the stand himself and say that he did not sexually assault Judy Huth. He obviously didn't do that. So despite any inconsistencies, which can be explained by the mere passage of time and don't necessarily mean that the plaintiff is lying about the main thing the lawsuit is based on, at the end of the day, the jury believed Huth. Interestingly enough, despite the fact that the jury sided with Huth, one of Cosby's representatives has held this as a victory. I did a little bit of research and Bill Cosby's net worth is around $400 million. So at the end of the day, a $500,000 verdict is just a drop in the bucket for him. I mean, he still earns money from syndication of the Bill Cosby show. He earns around $2 million a month. So this verdict is just about a week's worth of income, which makes me feel like I should have gone into comedy instead of the law. Judy Huth was asking for punitive damages, which if awarded could have put the verdict at $10 million. So when comparing $10 million and $500,000, you could definitely call that a victory for the defense. This case was an over 7-year battle for Huth. However, it's not quite over yet. Cosby's defense team plans to file an appeal of the verdict. His attorney stated Huth will never receive a payday. If you got something out of this, please be sure to like the video. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video when it drops. As always, I want to thank you so much for watching. Until next time, peace.